Ano? Ay, play ko lang si ano.
Ito.
Groovy. Kaya, wala naman si Groovy. Si Groovy din. Yung just siya, si Fred Bot yung ginamit ko eh. Sorry. Baka masyado malakas muna eh. Mute ko muna actually. Kasi di ko lang kung ma-adjust ni Jin sa mobile eh.
Okay, hindi naman gano'n kalakas eh.
Hindi, di ko alam gano'ng kalakas sa kanya kasi baka ma-disturb ako. Mamaya lang, i-restart ko siya pag ano. Okay na kayo? Alright. Sa next session, yung sa ano pa rin, sa 24 pa rin. Next in 2 weeks. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Okay. Yun yung unang, so medyo may impromptu session. So
24 or 25 tayo?
24, Friday?
Okay.
Yun yung last na natin. Vacation week naman kami nun, so. Alright, so yung rules clarification lang. So yung sa last time, yung regarding wild magic sorcery, yung sorcerers, like in general, like this is rules as written across all the board. You can only do one action, leveled spell, and then you can do another spell provided it's a cantrip. Now, yung quicken spell feature na meta magic ng wild magic sorcerer, it helps with quickening like effects. Let's say, may mga spell katulad like sunbeam. If you pag kinast mo kasi, yung the following turn, you can use a bonus action or an action to parang move it. Parang i-move mo siya tapos may may continuous damage siya. So kung kinweaken mo siya, you can do it on the same turn. So parang double damage pa rin siya. So hindi niya na forfeit yung use ng meta magic. But that being said, yun nga, the prime feature of a sorcerer is being able to cast multiple spells at a turn. So hindi ko sinasabing hindi pwedeng gawin na 2-level spells per turn. It's something.
Season 1, nag-haste ako tapos nag-fireball ako.
Feeling ko nagkakamali ako dun eh. I think binibigay ko lang siya kasi as the feature of haste, parang ganun. Pero parang mali yun on my part. Pero that's something I would definitely want Vyrsed to get. Pero something that, as a magic practitioner, something he should take time to work on. So that's why like right now, pwede niyang I will allow it, but sorry?
Isang level spell pa lang muna.
Isang level spell? No. I can allow you to do 2-level spells, but it guarantees a wild magic surge for now.
Okay.
And until you have like training to para hindi na para prevent yung
dahil na baka ng Hero Academia, pwede natin masabi na the desire niyang i-save si Davtarn. Nagawa niya yun. Nag-dead man's parade si Vyrsed.
Mabuti nga, nag-polymorph siya sa sarili niyan.
Parang.
So parang may side effects lang siya. Pero definitely, para lang maintindihan na yun yung base rules. Kasi may mga ibang DMs, katulad ni Arcadong dati na ina-allow niya but that's a homebrew na you can do 2-level spells. Homebrew siya. Pero like, in general, like D&D 5e, just 1-level spell and then a cantrip. And then next, i-irata ko kasi medyo naka-confuse eh. Like sa yung Xanatar Guild, gagawin ko na lang siyang Xanatar Group kasi hindi siya technically faction siya, hindi siya guild. Pero like, yung name niya kasi sa book is Xanatar Guild. So gagawin ko na lang siya Xanatar Group para to avoid the confusion and differentiation between yung guilds of Waterdeep. Kasi guilds is like yung different professions, different practices.
Okay. Yeah, para like underground group siya.
Yeah, it's an underground group. Like it's another, para siyang yung Black Network, yung Zentarin, yung Thieves Guild.
Thieves Guild. Doon sa last na kinalaban namin.
Yeah, Xanatar yung mga goons.
Dragonborn.
Yung may mga Dragonborn.
Okay.
Xanatar. So Xanatar group na instead of Xanatar loop. And I think that's it. All right, so just reviewing the previous session. So the group was contemplating on their conversation with the Black Viper. We also noted, just as an additional for backstory, I added herbalism to Davtarn's proficiencies as it works with his background. So the party long
Ngayon,
rested.
sunod airplane na lang pala na straight.
They readjusted their what do you call this, attuned items. They gave their map, their indecipherable map, to the other party members to see if they can do something about it. And they basically went to meet the Black Viper. They traveled down through the sewers to basically interrupt a trade going on between the Artificers Guild and the Xanatar group. On their way, they were able to scout a warehouse. They were able to stake it out, lay some traps, and wait for a couple hours until around like 2 to 3 in the morning, where they eventually saw the arrival of the two groups. Teka naman, anak ko. Give me 1 second. Anak ko naman. Oops, that's ako. Nasanay ako mag-isa.
Just lock me out.
Sorry. My wife arrived.
Lock me out.
Right. Tapos, they were able to stake out the place, able to lay traps. As the groups arrived, you were able to separate into two groups, one inside the warehouse, one outside the warehouse. The outside group managed to dispose of the sentries. The inside group were lying in wait, observing the deal. The deal was between Grozin, the Dragonborn from the Artificers Guild, particularly offering some sort of wine in exchange for a locked chest from the Xanatar group. The Black Viper and Davtarn was able to what do you call this? Incapacitate one of the sentry archers. The Black Viper changed clothing and eventually went inside the warehouse, claiming that it's a double cross. And then chaos ensued. Davtarn came in, exclaiming that your days are numbered, villains. Silverback used his infusions to create more chaos and random words and voices coming out throughout the room. He popped out from a barrel disguised as a city guard. And the two groups fought each other. One of the robotic assassins fell while the rest escaped, along with all their items. But the group, the Chaotic Quintet, was able to dispatch of the Xanatar group. And while they were fleeing, Vyrsed was able to collect a big package with his parting words that the guild thanks you for your donation before teleporting away. And that's where we left off. So we start in the middle of the sewers. Vyrsed, you're by yourself. You appear into the designated what do you call this? Rendezvous point. And it's dark, it's grimy, it's the same sewers you've been throughout. You're by yourself, you have a few moments by yourself. You have with you a small, it's like a backpack sized package that is completely wrapped. You're holding it in your arms at the moment. While you're by yourself, what do you do with the package?
Do I sense it's magic? It's magic.
You don't sense it's magical. It feels like solid. Like it feels sort of like rocky. Like it's very hard, but it's like multiple hard bits. Yeah. I turned off the music for a bit until Jean's back.
It's wrapped, right?
It's wrapped. It's like really wrapped. Parang cocaine nga.
Oh shoot. Right? Like I take a look. Is it sealed?
Stab it with a
or
knife. Sniff, sniff.
Is it what?
Is it like sealed or like?
It's sealed. Yeah, it's sealed. It might it might take a while to.
Oh, I put it in the haversack for now.
Got it. So you put haversack, and as you're finishing putting it in your haversack, you just hear a voice from behind you. So guys, wala pa kayo dito, pero I just put you so para nakita nyo rin yung view. You hear a voice beside you. You hear the Black Viper whispering, saying, "How'd you get here so fast?"
Magic.
Should have known. Should have known. And then you see her going to the side. She's still holding that wine bottle. She kneels down. She puts out the potion, the empty health potion that she used on Davtarn. And then she pours the contents of the wine in the potion, in the flask. And she throws the rest into the puddle, and she makes sure to break the glass, and she throws it in the puddle. And then she corks the empty health flask and then stands back up. She's still wearing that, what do you call this? That elven ranger's garb that she had. But you see that she has her regular mask back on.
I ask her, is there anything special about that wine?
I'll have to. I didn't get time to evaluate it yet. But I know someone that can. Where are your friends? Pasok ka lang sa ano.
They should be coming soon.
And then you see that she looks a little bit frustrated. She's like furrowing her brows. And she says, "What's the deal with your friends, man? Do they always have to make sure that they draw first blood?"
I don't know about the halfling. It's crazy.
They were both parties were at neck to neck with each other. Like he could have just waited for a bit. And she's sighing. She's holding her. She's like making a big face palm.
Well, they should be coming soon. You should just wait.
Well, they should make sure they arrive soon because and then you see that she's looking like she's particularly counting down at something, and then she says, "Right about now." And then as soon as she says that, you feel a little bit of like shaking and a little bit of like vibration going on from above ground, probably from the direction where you came from, where the warehouse is. And then we're gonna switch back to Davtarn and Silverback. Dito ka na, Jin, right? Dito ka na?
Yes.
Yeah. So you guys, when you were escaping, going back to the sewers, what were you prioritizing? Stealth or speed?
Prioritizing speed.
Speed.
Alright, cool. So I would make athletics check with advantage. Both of you.
Athletics. Rolling 2.
That's nice.
Oh.
Good. It's alright. Looks like because I think you still might have long striding maybe. But and you're pretty quick with it. Quick speaking. Able to maneuver through the different pathways that you will need to go through. Make a stealth check.
Both?
Mm-hmm. Just
Stealth?
regular. Just regular normal roll.
Okay.
Alright. And then make one last perception check. So you're climbing down through the sewers, through the manhole covering where you guys. You're in a rush. You're just rushing through. Silverback, you're trying to assist Davtarn too because he's still bleeding from his wounds. And through these narrow pathways through the sewers, you have a few moments to discuss amongst you if you guys want to talk about something before you proceed to. You're almost. You're probably a couple of steps before you guys get into the small opening where the designated rendezvous point would be. And also I think from what I remember, you guys ran away already before. So I don't think you would have. I'm not sure. I don't think you would have seen.
No.
Vyrsed.
Vyrsed.
He just told you to go. You guys go on ahead. But I don't think you guys saw him taking the package.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
So
We
you
have no
guys,
idea.
Yeah. So you guys are running. Well, do you discuss something?
We should have grabbed the package. It could be worth something.
But it's not worth being enemies with the Xanathar group, to be honest.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, we just got that thing to burn with the. We call it
The artificers. The artificers guild. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we made good work of them. Do you think the Black Viper will be proud? I think we did good.
I think it was a job well done. I agree.
I would agree. We high five together.
So I asked you guys. It's high five, and eventually you emerge from this opening. And the first thing you see across a couple, there's there's regular sewage, but there's elevated platforms. You see across Vyrsed, he's like he's well and safe. And then you see the Black Viper. She was facing Vyrsed, and upon hearing your first steps, she turns around. She looks at both of you, and she says, "You imbeciles!" And she throws a dagger.
Yeah.
She throws a dagger straight towards you. With this, you don't need to dodge.
We dodge. We both dodge.
You both dodge. As you both dodge, you go one a couple units behind. But you see that the way she threw it, it wasn't directly towards you.
Huh?
It hits something in the air, something fizzles, something appears, and it crashes down.
Oh.
And as you were running, you remember that feeling like a sort of explosion from where you came from, a sort of vibration.
Ooh.
And she says,
Good thing we got out. We got out of there.
Oh, how did that get there?
She says,
What is it?
Oh,
you guys were being followed. We have to
What
get
is it?
away.
that was a miscalculation. All right,
Oh.
let's scurry away.
What is it? Oh, it's a. Oh, okay. It's one of those.
It's one of the drones. One of the drones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they're still basically invisible. And then she says, "Hurry, quickly! We proceed northeast. That's where we're going to escape." And she's motioning for you guys to go to that direction as she's keeping watch of where you guys are coming from. And she's trying to look. You see like she's touching her mask, and she's trying to look. Make an insight check if you guys want. She's still very bloody, by the
Nope.
way.
Insight check.
Nice. Vyrsed, you kind of and Silverback, I kind of get the idea that the way she's using her mask, that's what's making her see even though the drones are invisible.
It's a very perceptive mask.
Quickly, she said.
Across.
I see, she says.
Near death na
Or Ha? Sorry?
talaga bang near death na si Davtarn?
Oh, di ba
Ah,
yun
yeah,
ano na?
yeah.
Yeah. I see 4 drones and 3 of the assassins. They're
You can see far back from our. Did she mean this
yeah,
way?
yeah. I mean this way. She says.
Oh,
Quickly.
okay.
Uh,
I run this way.
you know,
Is this deep? Is this deep?
That's deep.
Okay.
That's like probably not deep, but it's that's gonna be considered difficult
Difficult.
terrain
Okay.
for one.
Okay.
Um,
Let me see. still have 5. Oh no, I can only make. Give me a second.
so this is just a preface. This is going to be a skill challenge, guys.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So like we won't follow the grid, necessarily. It's easier also just to give an idea of how the distance between you guys and the pursuers are. So not necessarily like don't get too focused on the grid and like it's just like parang markers lang siya, just so it's easier rather than theater of the mind.
Okay.
Cool. Okay.
Then I follow her direction.
I do my magical tinkering
Mm-hmm.
to the ground. I make a message here.
Mm-hmm.
I make a message here.
Mm-hmm.
Escape route, and then there's an arrow. How can I write?
Ano ba? May writing ba ang Arcane Vision? I forgot.
Ang magical tinkering can static visual effect including up to 25 words
Pati visual
of
pala.
text.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sige,
So
sige.
because nagamit ko na yung tatlong
Infusion.
verbal
Yeah.
tinkering,
Yeah,
I'll
one more.
create one here. Follow rally. I'll just make to throw them off. I will write down a message here like a escape route, rendezvous point, head straight, and
Head
then
straight.
head
And
straight. Yeah, and then I run. I follow. Sorry.
It's okay lang, sir.
I follow. Davtarn.
Got it. You guys have other actions left. Like Vyrsed can, if you want to do an action to help. Davtarn, if you want to do an action to help.
Because
So,
because Davtarn is
yeah.
making cracks of blood.
Yeah. Yeah, so make a deception check, Silverback.
Deception check. Oh no, not my best. No. I tried.
Alright.
Can I cast minor illusion
Mhm.
for like blood trails, but it's going to the opposite direction?
Yeah. I would say make an Arcana check. Nice.
Please.
Nice.
Okay. Nice.
Alright. Davtarn, do you want to do anything before we end this round, this chase round?
Not at the moment.
Another moment. So you guys, she tells you, the Black Viper says, quickly. She waits for you guys to come around over that direction, and she points you towards a little bit northeast.
Okay.
So you guys move. Do you guys wait for
Black Viper.
you guys want to wait for what happens, or do you guys just flee while
No. Well, it's fine. It's fine.
Flee. She said flee. I would
Flee.
All right, so you guys run away. As you guys run away, the infusion, what do you call this, Silverback? That's stun trigger, right? That's just like a letter on the floor, right?
It can be triggered.
Mm-hmm. Or it's when do you want to trigger it? Basically, is what I'm asking.
Static visual effect.
Mhm.
I can make it na ano to. It's like alam mo yung parang tutorial sa video game. Once you reach
Yeah.
point, it pops out.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So it should be basically it's like popping out already. Like if you want to, because you want to give the illusion that triggered when you guys arrived there, right?
Yeah.
It's first flashing there, and then you don't hear her, but the footsteps of but the Black Viper is right behind you guys. and then you hear the metallic clanks of robotic figures arriving uh, from where you came from. And based from the sound that you're hearing, it looks like they're proceeding south towards towards the direction that uh, Silverback indicated, and because of the fact that
Blood trails.
the blood trails were covered.
blood
'Cause that was the
trails.
big part. That was the big part.
Yeah.
This is how many feet? You guys have 60 feet.
Yeah.
So you guys can't see anything yet. But the Black Viper is you're gauging from her from what she was doing earlier that her eyesight at least is a little bit enhanced. So she has a little bit further what do I call this? Range in her sight. And she says, they're over there, quickly, to that side. But don't make a sound, she says. They're very keen at hearing, and she moves here, and she looks like she's waiting for you guys to proceed before proceeding. So from this step, you guys want to do anything else to prevent you from to help you guys in making less noise, as the first part of the track looks like they were able to deceive them in the direction you're going.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of distance, but if you make any big noises, it might alert them to your direction. So what do you guys want to do in this round?
I suggest we follow the Viper.
I then have no special spell for that, so yeah, I guess we can move slowly.
Just double-
Cautiously, yeah.
Just double checking your passive perception.
Passive.
Davtarn and Silverback, you notice like around this area,
Mhm.
there's like a big crocodile, like by the sewer. It's like by. It hasn't gone to your direction yet, but it's like right there.
Oh crap! There's wildlife in here.
Is it a beast?
It is.
It
I double
is.
check.
It
I
is.
believe so. I believe so.
It
It is a
is.
beast.
Your turn.
I will cast Speak with Animals.
Go ahead.
When I cast it, and I tell him, nom nom. Then I put the direction to the south.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Ah, I see. Depending on the intelligence of the creature.
I can give you. I'll give you advantage.
I can cast. I have this.
Yung reaction mo,
Yung flash
Spark
of
of Villain?
genius.
I'll give you advantage for this because it's very creative.
You can do +4 sa ability
Plus
check.
4? That's fine. Like, medyo low naman yung ano nito eh.
Okay.
Let me just roll.
You can do
Yep.
+4.
He kind of like, what are you talking about, human? And then
Oh.
he kind of like goes around and he kind of like starts swimming.
Okay. Huh.
That'll keep
Eh,
them distracted.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anything else, you guys? The rest, Vyrsed or Silverback?
Let me see. Can't put traps. They will know that. I have no. I can't place an alarm because it would take me 1 minute to set it up. Let's go. I'm done. Do you have any ideas, guys?
Alright. It looks like if you guys, that's okay. Like if you guys want to do, you can do your movements again.
Okay.
Got it. So like, Vyrsed is just focusing his time, making sure he has magic stuff. And he says, and you see the Black Viper nods as you guys approach. And then as you guys are retreating further north, you hear a little bit of ruckus further south, and you hear a sort of like metal on on like beast sounds, as
Oh.
looks like the crocodile engaged with maybe some, if not a lot, of the involved parties that are
Nice.
pursuing you. However, you still hear running. You don't really hear. Sorry, you don't hear any running.
Okay. They're having fun. It's time for us to go.
How long
That
is it
plan work?
set up a trap?
It's gonna. I would say, setting up a trap is 1 round.
Okay.
You're in this narrow passageway. There's a very narrow pathway to the north. So unless you want to go south and there's a gangplank here, or if you just wanna. It's not that deep anyway, but it might make a noise. That's the only thing. She
I will-
effortlessly bounds and goes in this direction.
How?
And
How?
she's very limbo. She's very limbo. She just
Okay.
pirouettes across. She kneels here, looking in the south, and she's basically saying that they're still in that direction.
Shall we go?
Mhm.
And
She says, "Go ahead, go ahead. A couple more paces towards that direction."
we need to go across. Is this
You can-
enough to like walk? Or do we have to shimmy across this?
You're gonna have to shimmy through here if you want.
Difficult.
Parang Metal Gear style, yung
Yeah.
wall.
Difficult terrain.
Yeah.
So we have to
Yeah.
shimmy like we can't fight on it. All right.
I want to do a 6 somersault. Running somersault.
It's not bad. This is only like 5 to 10 feet, so I believe the Davtarn shouldn't have a problem.
Yeah, Davtarn won't have a problem. Let's take the long way.
6 somersault.
Why is
And-
everyone
But it's you two that might have a problem.
35? This is my 35.
You guys can like go through up until here without any issues. It just consumes like your rounds of actions. That's the only.
All the action.
Yeah. So Davtarn, if you want to do something, I guess this is the round. If you want to set up something,
Yeah, I'll let me put a trap on the blind side here, like a hunting trap.
you wanna leave it there. You wanna carry it with you, because the way Black Viper was saying, it looks like the pursuers were going in that direction.
Oh, I will. If that's the case, I wouldn't set it up yet. Then I'm just
Are
trying to
these-
make sure that we're not being followed. So
All right. Are these columns thick?
Yeah,
columns?
with the column supporting from ground.
Okay.
to-
Ceiling is how high?
I would say about sewers.
Mga 2 feet
I'm
lang
like-
from our heads. I think I'm the
It's like
closest.
10 feet at the most, like from so a couple like 2 to 4 feet higher than
Okay.
your heads, depending on your height.
Okay. Oh,
you know what I'll do? I'll stow my weapons and take out my shield and hand crossbow. Yun lang current weapon.
Okay,
all right.
right. So she tells you to proceed north. There's an opening there. She says, but she goes in this direction just to keep an eye on the pursuers.
Okay.
So this is the first like section where she leaves you by yourselves. As you guys proceed north, there's an intersection. And so this round, what do you guys want to do?
Gotta check the corners.
Yeah, go ahead.
From this position, they said they're heading
Southeast.
southeast,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Mhm.
So where we put pretty much a distance. I guess I can use my last. Wait, arcane lock? Nope, not work. Are you making a spell, the trap spell, or I asked Davtarn, are you making a trap spell, or An
No,
actual trap.
I have a tool. I have a tool.
Tool. Trapper tool. Okay.
Mhm.
Do you want me to just place an alarm so that we know if we're being followed?
No, I think if they triggered the alarm, they know that's where we went.
Oh no, I'll make it a silent alarm, which goes to only to which only I can hear.
Oh,
I think it can be like that thing, audible or mental, and then I can tell you if they crossed this point, and then we
Okay.
set another of your trap.
I would also note, sorry, it was only the first part of the chase where the blood. Sorry, I forgot to mention where the blood was covered.
Okay.
So this trail is present at the moment.
Oh crap!
If that helps, if that helps in your direction, yeah.
It's a
Oh,
perfect
Oh,
breadcrumb.
then is there a way I can stop the bleeding?
Let
I would have let you do a medicine check while you were resting here.
yeah.
While they were trying to catch up.
How is my medicine? I will do. I can do a medicine check.
That I would say that would be Davtarn's turn because you guys
Okay.
were shimming. So he's having problem because he's also, what do you call this? He's also still bleeding.
Uh-huh.
Let me put you back here. So the
Uh-huh.
start of this round when Black Viper says she'll go to here, she's telling you to go north. There's an this round. If you guys want to start the round before proceeding,
Okay. I see that you're still bleeding and you're
Mhm.
having trouble. I can help him with my medicine check.
so the blood trail is.
Is it a help action or an advantage or?
No, I have a medicine check.
Oh, I'll help.
Okay.
I'll help.
Hopefully, it's better.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, good. So you patch Davtarn up. It stops the bleeding. Unfortunately, yung feature nung foundry, medyo hindi ko stop physically, but the bleeding is physically stopped as you
Alright.
guys continue north. So and you'll be able to proceed towards this direction.
All right.
And I'll say, that's your turn if Vyrsed and Davtarn want to do anything.
That's my turn. Okay.
No, still trying to escape.
Okay. Which direction do you want to go?
Do I know generally where we are?
You're having a sense that you're around the anong ward ulit yun? You the area where the yawning portal was. I forgot the field. Ano ba siya? Hindi siya field. Trade. Yung
Trade.
is it
Trades ward.
not trades ward? It's a fields ward ata. Southward. I'm trying to remember on top of my head. But it's around that area. You're proceeding.
Dockward.
Yeah,
Di-
a little
di ba
bit
Dockward?
north na Dockward.
Then,
Dockward kasi
a bit
galing
north
eh.
of Dockward. Yeah.
Kami yun.
I
Okay.
think maybe southward. But around that direction. Towards this direction.
I think we're near the yawning portal, boys.
It is Dockward. I'm looking at the map.
Map.
In between
Dockward.
Tradesward and Dockward.
Yeah, trades. Baka trades, yeah. So you guys through here or through which gank lang?
I'll go with the nearest one.
This one? Roll a D100.
Oh,
Right, good. It's alright. It creaks, but it almost snaps. But it's able to hold your weight.
that wasn't. That doesn't bring confidence. No, Vyrsed, wait.
Hindi ako nag...
Okay.
No, ginagalaw ko lang kayo.
All right. I thought you immediately
No,
went
no,
to
no.
the gangplank. Huh. I look back, and then I go. So I think this was creaking when Dav. Do you think? Can I do an investigation check?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I heard it creak when Davtarn made it. I don't think it can take me. Maybe Vyrsed, but I'm not sure. Boop.
That's good. This one looks like it might snap under your weight, but judging from this one, looks like this one is the more stable one.
Okay. Okay. That looks like a safe bet, Vyrsed.
Gotcha. I shall go.
Saan na nalagay? Ay, Sobrang laki ng map. Di ko ano yung... I go in here. Sorry. So as you guys are proceeding, you pass through, no issues. You see the Black Viper. She appears around this direction.
We just wave a hand.
And she points here. And she says, there.
I give a thumbs up.
I'm like, and then I move to where she was pointing.
As you see there, looks like there's no... Make an investigation. Investigation or perception.
There's no way. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it looks like a dead end, but that's definitely the direction, Archie.
Huh.
Yeah.
I will do an investigation. Okay.
You don't see anything from the bottom or the walls, but you see there's a small... It's very faint, but there's like a small marking on the ceiling. You're not quite sure what. As you guys are doing this, you see the Black Viper. She's cocking a crossbow. It's she lights it up with a small flint, and she shoots it across where you guys came from over here.
Mm-hmm.
And after a few seconds, she goes over here. She makes a jump, and then she runs over where you guys are looking. She ninja kicks the walls going up, and she knocks on the ceiling where you saw the engraving.
Oh.
And then
Fancy.
you see it sliding open just ajar.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see like a small eye looking over. You see them looking at the Black Viper. The Black Viper says, "Quickly, quietly." And you see a small opening open up. A small ladder, like a small, the pirate's ladder, the one where you toss to the side of the boat. I don't know what that's called. Yung rope, yung rope ladder, rope ladder na may planks, a small of that sort being thrown out, and as it lands on the ground, you hear an explosion from where the arrow was shot, and then she motions quickly.
Well, that seems to be our cue. Then I'll follow.
You go ahead. I will. Let me see. No. Leave no trace pala. Go on.
Before you guys are finishing, the blood is patched up already, so there's no traces.
Okay.
So you guys proceed, and you just go towards the empty hole.
Yeah, I follow her.
As you guys enter, you come upon the entrance of like you see like a fireplace on your right. It's very warm. There's a rolled up carpet right from where you guys were. And as you know, Davtarn comes up, Vyrsed comes up, and Silverback comes up, and finally the Black Viper comes up, and she slides the door, the hatch closed, and then there's a secondary hatch that she closes. Nakalimutan ko ilagay si Black Viper. And you're in like an unfamiliar place, although it looks very homey. You know, there's a desk on the side. There's a couple of like, this looks like a fairly bright. It looks like a meeting area. It's like a lounge, actually.
Wait, are we still on the run?
Oops, mali yung token. Oops. Where did I? And then she says, and yung mas appropriate na token ko, sorry. And she says, I think we're okay. And then she looks over, and you see the familiar face of the tavern lady. Bonnie. She was the one that opened the door for you. And she says, well, this is mighty a surprise. Misters, looks like you brought some friends along with you. Some familiar faces.
Quite a fancy setup you have here.
I can't believe you brought us to your home. Yeah, still coughing blood.
And she says, no, this is not my home. But it is something we need some help from. Bonnie, would you mind calling your master for a moment? And then she says, well, he won't like that, mistress. Come on, I know it's 3 a.m, but he's not gonna like it if I wake him up.
Then I tell her when she was walking out, oh, tea please, 2 sugars.
Oh, no problem, Davtarn, not to worry. I'll fetch this up before I go collect the master. Now, don't you go wandering off. I'll be right back. And she goes through.
I like
Close the
her.
door.
That's what I say. We need her around.
You guys have a few moments by yourself. The Black Viper looks like she kneels before the fireplace, just warms her hands, like wiping her equipment off. And you guys are free to discuss at the moment.
Oh.
Take this chair.
I'll take a chair. I like shimmy up. Yeah. That was awesome.
I would say that was a good good execution earlier.
Yeah, it's a fine disruption of evil doing, in my opinion.
I agree.
And she
Go on.
she stands up. She kind of like cracks her neck and she says, "You two," and she points at both of you. You two should know when to let things play out. You should be more like your friend over there.
What?
And you point to, and it's like, clearly you haven't seen that man go wild.
This is why I hate working with groups. But everything was you should have let them go into each other's necks first before drawing the first blood.
But I got that strong sense of justice.
Your strong sense of justice means nothing if you die, stupid fool.
If I may, I raise my hand. If I may, we managed to survive, so it was still. I would say everything is still within parameters.
You managed to survive the skin of your teeth. That your friend over there was almost killed. Did you see how much he was bleeding, and how he would have been slain without the health potion I gave him? Do not underestimate your opponents, specifically when there's 2 groups of them.
Agreed.
You were lucky that all of them, or at least the Xanatar group one, that they got confused and they believed your stupid story.
I would say that was perfectly executed.
The execution was okay, fine. I admit that the ruse and the distractions that you gave were pretty top notch. However, the brashness of your aggressiveness and going into the fight haphazardly, that is the one that I want to point out. If the other group, if the Xanatar group focused on your friend, then that would have been his end. And I do not have the means within myself to help him when he's gone. Do you?
Slack-jawed.
The chairman.
Slack-jawed response.
He's just...
Noted. Duly
I can
noted.
handle myself just fine.
I nod.
She just like sighs. She just walks through you guys, and you see her dropping a flask.
I didn't know
Uh,
that she cared so much. I have to admit, that's refreshing.
I wink.
Mm-hmm.
And then I raise a thumbs up silently.
Vyrsed, what are you thinking?
I showed them the package.
I knew you were trying to escape
So
the.
the Black Viper, the Black Viper is her back is turned. So do you wanna discreetly show it, or do you wanna show it to everyone?
Oh, I'm gonna like, alam mo yung parang,
Yung magtuturo.
papakita mo lang na, oy, meron akong ano, may droga ako dito. And then, I put it back.
I was like, how?
As you guys are discussing this, the door opens and you see Bonnie coming in, and she says, "Oh, here's your tea, my darling. I forgot to ask the others, but I made some extra.
Thank you.
There's some herb tea. Do you drink, Mr. Wolf much?"
I would have some of your oil, cooking oil, please.
Oh, I'll get right to it. And how about you, sir?
The tea is fine for now.
Alright, here's the extra tea again. And one for the mistress as well. And the master will be right with you. And she steps up, drops tea for the Black Piper, and she says, "Thank you, Bonnie." And she steps off, closes the door again. And you hear footsteps. And you see the opening. You see the door open. You see the grumpled face. He's in his like sleeping robes. But the burly face of the innkeeper, Durnan. He's a male human, dark hair, fair skin, and he says, "What the blazes is happening, V? Why are you waking me up all of a sudden? And it looks like you brought friends, which is very unlikely."
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "This is your fault for telling me to get help from these knuckleheads."
Oh, we've been recommended by a broker.
And I do appreciate the recommendation, Dernan, as I raised my teacup while I'm holding onto my bleeding patch.
Looks like you guys got beaten out, but beat 'em up. But why did you wake me up, V? She says, "I need your speciality, Dornan. We retrieved, through a miraculously successful attempt, we were able to intervene a supposed trade between the guild and Xanathar. And the guild was brokering this to the Xanathar, and I would like you to examine it, and hopefully if you can devise or figure out where this was sourced." And he approaches, he looks at the glass, and he says, he picks it up and he says, "Is this all that you guys got?"
I nod.
I have nothing else.
That's all we could find during the chaos.
And you see she sits back in the chair, she sighs. He walks over to the fireplace, he uncorks it, tries to smell it. And she says, "Obviously, I would not wake you up, Darnan, if it was not of this import. Forgive my trespass and forgive my use of and my sharing of this entrance to this group." And you don't really see what Darnan is thinking. But he looks like he's intently looking and investigating the bottle.
Anything?
And he says, well, first off, I ain't got no problem with letting these folks come through. Told you I vouched for them, and I told you that they could be of use.
Durnan, did you know who was going to be part of the deal?
Look, Davtarn, I've seen you around with Vasher, and I'm good friends with Vasher, and he's vouched for you. You vouch for your friends, and I see how you've been around the town. You've been around the tavern. I saw you helping Volo, Floon, and Rainier, and those good deeds don't go unnoticed. But whatever V's doing, I don't intervene. If she needs help, I help. But otherwise, her business is her own. Now, and then she looks at V. The problem is, I don't know where this wine comes from. And she puts it to the ground, puts it on the table. And she says, but that's impossible. You're the biggest drunk I know, and you're the most skilled wine connoisseur here. And he says, well, I thank the compliments, but the problem is, this ain't no wine. This is blood.
Oh. How would they trade in blood? And what kind of blood is it?
I'm not the most. This is not my skill set.
A sample of blood. I was fiddling with. Sorry, I was fiddling with my legs, and then it piqued my interest. I approach. May I have a sample? May I have a look? I try
Go.
to have a whiff. My memory is not that good yet, but I will tap into my sage background.
Sage mode activate.
Sage mode. It is a sample of blood hidden in the wine.
No, you're mistaken, sir. Silverback, is that right? Yeah. It's not blood hidden in wine. The whole flask. It's 100% blood. There's no traces of wine anywhere.
I see. Cleverly made.
Where was this package? She asked, and he says, it was in a wine bottle. It looks like they had a full case. But we were only they left one, and we were able to retrieve what was there. And Durnan just sort of like steps over here and just takes a seat, just tries to contemplate. And
May I have a sample?
Go right ahead.
I pull out my tinker's tools. Maybe maybe I have some dropper. Put a little in a test tube, seal it, and then give the rest back to Durnan.
Oh, this is not mine. And then she.
So I give it back to V. Yes, I'm sorry. I give it back to V.
She just holds it. And she's kind of like questioningly looking at it. Says peculiar. Well, first off, if they have that much blood, that means the guild has been harnessing that much blood if they're engaging in this kind of trade.
Is the blood trade that lucrative?
No. There's not really any good use for blood unless it's for medical necessities, and she lets it hang in the air. But that's impossible, she says.
Can I say what's not possible?
There hasn't been she says, well, Dornan says, she kind of like um, cuts her off. He says, what V is implying, kind sirs, is that there hasn't been any new vampires in Waterdeep in a while. Centuries, rather.
And why would Waterdeep has seen worse, in my opinion. I just find it interesting that the Xanatar group is willing to pay. Or wait, who was it?
It was the Xanatar group. Was it not V? And she says yes. But most likely, as they always are, the Xanatar group is always just mercenaries for hire. I doubt the Xanatar would want or would be involved in this kind of trade. So it's probably just them being hired for this particular job. I do not think their group per se would be involved, but they were rather just a means for this trade to be. Because of course, if you are a vampire living within Waterdeep, then you would not undergo these kinds of trades by yourself and in person. It would help. And you see that there's a little bit of like frustration in the Viper's eyes. And she says, it would help if we knew what the other party was trading. But we did not have a chance to procure what they had. We had to flee before we were cut. And she says, and Darden says, yes, that would have been some useful information. But you gotta work with what you have, Lee. That's how it is. You know that by now.
I give them like a look. It's like, oh, twice.
I would give a agreeing nod.
But as you guys are contemplating, Bonnie comes back. She says, here's your cooking oil, my kind sir.
Thank you. I grab the cup and then I hide the bottle of the vial of blood.
The Bible. Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, if you need anything, sir, I'm just right outside. She says, well, thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you very much.
Right. With the group's approval, I will show them the other package.
Wow.
And the Viper looks at you like as you're pulling out something. She says, what is that?
I will say, I managed
What-
to grab
what
it
is-
just before I left. Escape, before I escape.
How did you manage to get that?
It was in
He's the smartest among the group.
Clearly,
Because
clearly, clearly he is. And she approaches.
It was inside the chest during
Mhm.
what they were trading for.
Did you manage to ask them or coerce them in telling you what it was or where it came from?
No, no, not at all.
And then she asks, "May I?"
Sure, I hand it over.
You hand it over. It's a pretty big sack, and it's pretty heavy. And she holds it. She says, "This is a very hefty package." And Jordan says, "I'm mighty curious too what it is." And she puts it on the ground. You see, it's wrapped in like a lot of packaging. She pulls out a knife. And she looks at you. "May I?"
Sure.
She cuts a seam through the side, and she flips it open. And as she flips it open, she opens it towards the opening is coming through your direction. Davtarn and Silverback. You see some light shimmering, and you see the greatest amount of diamonds you've ever seen, as it's just a pack full of diamonds. And she's the Black Viper is just kneeling. She's like slack-jawed. She says, "This is impossible." And Durnan looks as well and she says,
Blood.
sabi mo, Jin, sir?
Sorry.
And she says, "But there's been a diamond shortage in Waterdeep for the last couple of years." She says, "Yes. How did that group manage to obtain this much?" And she asked, "Was it the only one in the treasure chest?"
Yes, it was only a single package. A single package in the treasure.
"This is worth thousands."
As I was tinkering with the cooking oil on my greasing my knees and my ankles.
Right.
So someone is paying top quality diamonds for blood, and then I have a look. Can I discern? Can I do a medicine check or nature? Yeah, nature or medicine check on
the
how
blood?
fresh of the blood is.
Go ahead.
Could I tell if it's from a human? No. Oh no.
Can I aid him?
You can use the help action, yeah. You wanna roll again with advantage?
Just a regular roll.
Yeah, just a regular roll, because that's your advantage roll. Nice.
Okay.
So as you're tinkering, as they're contemplating on why are there diamonds here, where the diamonds came from, you're tinkering with your over in the corner. Sorry. And then you came to analyze that this is very, very fresh blood. And this is not with the way, like, it's trying to see if this is something. The medicine check is fine. This is pure blood. This is pure blood. Pure blood in what I'm saying is
Humanoid blood.
it's humanoid blood. It's coming from somebody pure, innocent.
Oh.
Orphan kids.
Oh.
Orphan kids.
Oh.
It all makes sense, guys. Oh yeah. Brainstorm.
And you have that information by yourself.
I
You're in.
told Davtarn. This I know you're familiar with the different kinds, the types of blood through a hunt, but what can you tell about this? Because I think this one is top notch. I mean, how would you say that? Yeah, rare blood.
It's definitely. Is it human?
I would say it comes from a human or humanoid creature.
Yeah, it doesn't smell like a beast. It's not like, or it looks like it's fresh and. I mean, I'm not
Would
a
we be-
blood person, so.
Would
I
you be
just walk a
able to
lot.
tell if this blood was taken from how this blood was obtained? Like carefully or
Would I
With the
know
way
that?
I would say Silverback would have known, like, with the way, like, there's no impurities. It looks like it was
oh yeah.
it was garnered and
Surgically
harvested
removed.
properly.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Purely without any mixing of anything, of any
Oh
chemical.
yeah.
Wait a minute,
Then
are we
again-
going Hollywood sex blood cult here or what? No. Anyways,
All right. Yeah. So I passed this on to the group. This was obtained carefully, surgically, if it's possible.
They said blood, huh? From pure blood, like pure,
Pure, unadulterated.
unadulterated, untainted blood.
Yes.
Well, that right there is prime value for any vampire. That's like the most valuable, most delicious blood that they could ever. And that's, I understand the reason that they would pay this much.
I see.
Or
Wait. How much?
Oh, they when I think you went for a drink. Let me catch you up.
No. But how much are they willing to pay?
based from these diamonds, they're just leaving it on the ground, and she's sitting back. With the amount of diamonds these are, kind of estimate. And then he's like looking around. With this much weight, these kind of quality, it's probably around at least 8,000 gold minimum. And that's about. And you said there was a cask full? I said, of blood? Yes. And she says, yes. We were not sure if they had more in their carriage, but that is what they brought along with this sample.
I
So
see.
interesting. And she's kind of like, there's a
Sorry,
look of like,
wait a minute. What would a couple of constructs? A construct can't be a vampire, right?
no, a contract, a contract can't be a van. But it looks like
But the guild is the one looking for blood.
the Artificers Guild was the one supplying them. They were the ones giving the wine. Yeah.
It's the Xanathars that were trying to buy the blood.
Yes.
Oh, no. Okay, that part is not surprising.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the masked lords is a vampire. Then depending on how they live long.
That's
a human
true.
can't simply live that long.
Okay.
Durnan looks at you and he says, that's not something too far-fetched.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Make an insight check. Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, that suits it. Particularly when Silverback, you gauge this, that when Davtarn said particularly that a human can't live that long, that piqued a big interest in Durnan when he said that. And there's a big, there was a small smirk on his face when he said that. But his retort was like, that's not too far-fetched. He was very referential, and he's saying it's not impossible. That's what he's saying. And you have an idea, Davtarn, I would say, like, because you've been in the Yawning Portal for a while. You know that Durnan is a lot older than how he looks. You know, nobody asks, because that's like kind of like something like taboo in the portal. It's not something like you never ask a lady about her age. In the same way, nobody asks Durnan how old he is.
Is Durnan a vampire?
Oh. I mean, after I say that, what I said, should I say, isn't that right, Durnan?
He looks at you and he says, "Look, if you're implying that I'm a vampire, you're clearly mistaken.
I mean, you could be a werewolf too, I don't know.
I'm pure 100%
Quite
human."
interesting.
As long as we don't... I mean, I have no beef against anybody here in Waterdeep, you know that. I always enjoyed your drinks. So.
If you're finding it disturbing, the implications that you're saying, I find it in no offense. I know the situation is clearly questionable and intriguing. So I will lay it out there, and I'm sure V already knows. I'm centuries old, and that's has nothing to do with being a vampire or a werewolf. It's just something to do with how me and Mert is he's one of the regulars in the yawning portal. How me and Mert finished that dungeon right there. Was one of our rewards. And
you did, huh? I do remember that tale.
it's not the tale can sometimes be a little bit mixed with some dyssynchronies, but that's the true tale. Although I try not to confirm it because the ambiguity is what actually makes the stories and the drinks more interesting. But
yeah,
yes.
I was gonna ask you, is that thing about the dryad true?
Dryad? What do you mean?
I mean, something about the tryst with the dryad for you? How was that? Is that true?
There are some things that are just better left to be discovered. But
always the mysterious one there, Dernan. I do have a question though. Why did you send us to do this?
Like I told you, these reasons are her own. This stakeout, this whatever you guys did, was entirely her idea. I merely just gave her a heads up that there's a new group of adventurers that are probably already stepping into the shoes of the Artificers Guild. And if she'd like to hit them up, I can vouch for them, could vouch for you guys. You guys are one of the good ones.
Oh, I thought that there was some interest in you in it. So
I have no interest in these dealings. As long as it doesn't hamper my business. And as long as it's not impeding anyone else's.
Whatever our conversation is stays between the four walls of this room, right?
Of course.
Okay. I mean, what
As
time
you
is
guys, it's like around 3:30 in the morning.
it? Oh, okay.
He's saying, "Well, I don't know what you're gonna do with those diamonds." And she says, "Agreed." And she picks it up and she hands it back to you, Vyrsed. If you are going to keep this, then I must give you the most important advice I can say. Do not let anybody know that you have this. And if you're going to use it to trade, be very, very, very careful of who you trade with. I don't know if you are all aware, but there has been a great diamond shortage in Waterdeep for a couple of years now.
Oh.
And having possession of this much diamonds would not only get the ire of the ones where you stole this from, whoever hired the Xanatar, but also the City Watch. They will come knocking at your doors. So, is that crystal clear?
Diamond clear. Sorry, I just have to make that.
She smiles a little bit.
Is
She says, then she sits back a little. She said,
That was my seat. I go back to this chair.
now, she's saying, if the implications are true, then that means that the children that the guild possess, they are being,
Cattle.
they are the source of this blood. They are being, yes,
They're the cows.
cattle.
Milk.
They're being the father. They're getting milked. Yes.
like?
Well, it is fortunate then that you were able to, again, cause a distraction last night rather, that allowed a couple of them to escape. However, I find it hard to. I find it very easy to believe that they have a lot more under their uh, imprisoned in whatever place they harvest this.
But I mean, the City Watch will never do anything against it. The guild has them in their pockets. The guild's too
Exactly.
well connected.
Exactly. However, I think that the disruption we caused tonight will most likely affect their business for a while. I believe that whatever we did should start in some bad blood between them and their patrons. And for the time being, at least, it may hamper their regular dealings. And hopefully that will leave them a little bit more reckless and give us more opportunities to figure out what else to do. RTX shortage. Video cards.
I mean, we can use the diamonds to make RTXs, I think. solve the shortage. No, just kidding. I mean, we can't use the diamond. It's pretty much not even a fence would attempt to fence it right now in this market. Would it? Would they?
Sorry, what was the question?
Fence? I-fence namin yung diamond.
Parang ilo-launder nyo, ganun?
Yeah, something like that. Yung we sell it in the black market so we can't get tracked or something, or I don't know. Like, because the black market is Xanathar, so it's not like we can fence the diamond either.
True.
Right? Or is there a way we
It's a
can
bit
fence
difficult.
it? Yeah, it's gonna be difficult to try to make money off that diamond.
We're gonna lose a lot of brokers.
I know. I mean, you can use it for spells or constructions, maybe?
I would agree.
Well, and you hear Durgan speaking. If you don't mind, perhaps a proposal, perhaps a business deal, if you would, given that you're well equipped at the moment. There are a lot of adventurers that do require resurrections when they travel through my tavern, and nobody ever questions me where I source my diamonds, as I do have my own personal. If you want, I could make your diamonds. He's using quotation marks. Make your diamonds disappear in exchange for gold, with a little bit of cut for myself, of course. I'll give a little bit to V as well, seeing as she was the one that initiated this trade.
Do we get free resurrections?
You have your own diamonds. I'll give you access to a cleric, but you use your own diamonds, considering how much you have.
Okay.
But I'll take a cut of whatever I can, quote unquote, sell. And I guarantee it'll never be traced.
Well, that's up to.
It's not gonna be, yeah. It's not gonna be one lump sum, of course, because it has to be. It's gonna progress to how many people die, basically.
No, I understand. Well, that can easily be fixed. You know that. But I mean, up to the man who got the diamonds, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I look at Vyrsed.
Well, if everyone agrees,
How many bags of diamond did we lose? Was there more
Ayan,
No, it's just on.
earlier?
No, it's just on
Okay.
from the chest. The one,
yeah.
Ah, yes. Okay.
the ones wrapped like cocaine. That's all diamonds in there.
No, yeah. But in the carriage, were there more?
When you set the carriage afire, you didn't see any more in the back.
Okay.
And when Vyrsed opened it up, there wasn't anything left there.
Okay. Cool. Well, it works for me. I mean, we have a steady income. We have passive income,
And we got investments.
which is always good for a portfolio. Invest, kids.
Or
Mhm. Get vaccinated. Anyway. Yeah, no, works for me. I
I
think it's a
draw-
done deal.
I draw my sword. I cut it into. I draw the line on the diamonds, dividing it into 8 pieces, 8 slices.
Mhm.
It is like small diamonds, right?
It's like a mix. It's like a mix of, but it's totaling to a lot. Like the
Ah.
way, but there's more bigger than there's smaller.
Okay.
It's like bigger chunk. You don't necessarily have to cut
Oh,
cut
it's
it
not.
proportion.
Okay. It's not. It's not processed diamond.
Hindi siya parang dust or something. No, it's not diamond dust.
Okay.
It's just a mix of various
Rough,
size
rough
diamonds.
diamonds.
Yeah, diamonds in the rough.
Maybe I'll keep like 500 gold worth.
Dude, it's 8,000 worth.
Para like may stock tayo ng actual diamonds.
That's cool.
You just want
Yeah.
1,000? You just want to keep 1,000?
We'll keep 1,000.
Sorry, 500. Yeah. All right. So, and Durden says like, oh, let's put it on the table. Let's like see and wait it out. Like, like give you an estimate. So you guys are discussing there. And he parses it out, gives you 1,000's worth, and it says, this is about 7,500 worth of diamonds, give or take. I'll take.
After you keep.
Yeah, after you keep. I'll take 10% cut for each one I sell, and it's gradually. So basically, I'll give you your 6,750. Not in lump sum, but in time.
Okay.
I'll see this used appropriately.
I call
Get
it
the
to
message
Vyrsed.
or something, or I don't know.
Magkano
Use a
yung makuha namin?
courier.
6,750.
6-7.
If he's taking.
Guys,
Like
we're
in
not
time.
getting it yet, right?
Yeah.
In time. Not yet.
What about our the Viper over there? She doesn't want to cut. We're not gonna give her a cut, or that's the cut. She already has a cut.
I'm already giving her a portion of what I get.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. Works in.
that means we're still very much liable if that's how the price goes.
Mhm.
They don't want
I
none
mean,
of it.
You don't want. Wait a minute. Don't you need diamonds for anything, like component or crafting?
I was thinking of that's 6,750 gold, right?
Mhm.
Already. How much you crap. Can you get me 200 GP worth? I will take from the pile, probably look at which I guess is worth. I don't know my spell list yet, man.
Do you want
And if I'm
Do you
going
wanna
to need a
share
spell,
yung diamonds na meron ako?
I think yeah, that would be fine.
You wanna split like 500?
Hold it. I will ask you for some if we need. And besides, we can go back to Durnan if we need more diamonds. He might not be able to sell them all immediately. I reckon you're going to stash them in different places.
Of course. And he flourishes his hand, like a small, sort of like slit in the air opens up,
Whoa.
and
Oh,
he
pocket dimension.
he gets the rest, and then he just confirms this is what I'll be trading, right? Just to confirm. Do you want some more?
Nah, that's good.
That should be
Right.
fine.
And then he just stores it in this sort of like pocket slit dimension, and he waves his hand again, and it closes off.
Well, if it's all the same to you, is it possible to get a carriage back home, back to the home?
And then he sort of sits down. He says, "That's kind of my predicament at the moment. The problem is nobody can see you leave the portal,
I agree.
as a general rule. Whoever goes through the secret entrance or goes in the secret entrance has to go out through the secret entrance.
No. And
Like, I try my best for both your safety and my own, for the secrecy of whatever transpires there. Unless you have your own way of being discreet about it, then I can.
I understand the discretion. I think we should just head out.
I can have some cots lying in for you if you want. If you want to wait it out, if I'm understanding you guys were being pursued. And the Black Viper nods. He says, if you want to stay here for the time being,
That
Find
would
it
make
no
a
trouble.
better alibi.
before venturing off through the sewers again afterwards.
I mean, looking at Black Viper, definitely a better alibi than and I thought it would be. Anyway.
He nods. And she approaches Durnan as you guys are contemplating. And she says, do you think he's involved with this? He says, of course not. He knows the agreements. He's not allowed to make any more vampires. That's the only reason he's still being kept here in modern.
I pulled back my hood and dropped my mask, I guess. Was I? Yeah. Well, I wasn't because I was drinking tea. I don't know. And just fall asleep on the couch.
I continue tinkering with my right leg and use some of the cooking oil.
And how about you, Vyrsed?
I asked them who's not allowed to make more vampires.
And he gives a big sigh and he says, I guess even if I tried, you'll still be snooping around anyway. The Baron of Blood, the only legally allowed vampire in Waterdeep, he's an old acquaintance of mine. And I'm 100% sure this is not him. But if you want to go talk to him, that's on you.
Where he be at?
He's in the City of the Dead, by the north side of the city. He's in one of the catacombs there. He's in the old the crypt of the Conley family.
Cool.
That part's dozing off.
But if you guys don't need me anymore, I'll let Bonnie put a few cots here. You get some rest. Just make sure you're gone by the morning.
You have our gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Nods. Says, what happens in yawning portal stays in yawning
Listen,
portal.
I like that.
I agree.
Close it off. You hear a lock. This is actually locked. It's unlocked
Okay,
actually. Bonnie comes in and gives you the cot. Leave some food a little bit. Get some rest, owls. And she steps out.
Appreciate it, Bonnie. I
And
was it? I tried to grab some food and eat and sleep.
And she, before you guys doze off, the Black Viper asks, which lead do you want to follow? I can take care of the other side. You follow the diamond, source of the diamond? Or do you want to follow who was ordering the blood?
I approach. So. Do you think we should? I try to explain our pros and cons. We go after the Artificers Guild. They recognize us. We'll always be needing a disguise. But we can also follow the trail of our missing kid.
Is it different from each other?
Or we would follow the Xanathar's Guild, which would, put us away from finding our orphan.
I mean, didn't we sign up though to disrupt the guild for their wrongdoings or milking orphans? Apparently, now that we figured out what they're doing. I mean, I just because the source of the diamonds is the vampire or whoever, but the source of the blood is the guild. In my opinion, the Xanathar group hasn't done anything to us. I'm just, but they did say they lost the child. So I think if we can track losing the child, that'd be the missing child. That'll keep us away from both of them for now. But I'm sure the guild will be hot on her heels. But we would avoid conflict if we were just trying to grab her.
Sorry, just clarifying. Sino yung missing child na pinag-usapan nyo?
Ako, yung sabi din yung umiyak yung Arak ko. Bumalik na yung ano, di ba? Yung isang bata, yung...
So
Si Eri.
Si Eri.
Si Eri.
Si 3173.
Yeah.
Si 3173, yung, di ba yung unang child na ano nyo? Di ba, pinalo nyo sila, binelek siya dun sa shed, di ba?
Yeah.
Yung Arakokra, nung nakausap nyo siya, kaya siya umiyak kasi siya may kasalanan kaya siya nakawala. Kaya siya nakawala the earlier that day. So, hindi niya sinasabi na nakawala ulit yung bata.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, at least based from whatever has happened, at least based on your assumptions or information you know, you would know that child is still with them.
I mean, at this point, I think we should just keep out eyes for injustice. So we did foil that one, unless Viper here has an idea what to go for next. I mean, she was asking us what to follow.
And she nods as she. How about you, Vyrsed? Do you have any input?
Just that they already know us from the guild, so it might be harder.
To move around.
Yeah.
True.
She nods and she says, I believe that is the best course of action at the moment. We will lie low. You will lie low. And granted, and I will let you know if I gather the information. You can take it slow. We have disrupted their business. It would seem that we have dealt a sufficient amount of damage already. And perhaps that will suffice for the moment. I will try to investigate under my own, and I will see if what I can garner from the nobility. See where this diamond trail is coming from.
Oh, wait. So you're going to follow the diamond trail. We will follow where the blood is.
It's up to you. This was me as the DM asking what do you guys want to do next.
That's what I was trying to clarify.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you guys don't want to do based on your conversation, I garnered that you guys just wanna take it slow and maybe just chill back. Don't cause a scene. Try not to get. So that's why she says. That's why she was saying, I will do my own digging. I will try, for the most part, see reaching out to the nobility, since the nobility would usually need the diamonds more. She will try to go that route while you guys are laying low. So that's why she was offering that.
Okay.
Given that you guys want to do, because basically, if you're gonna proceed this route, then we'll have downtime, which is good.
Okay. Question. I go into sage mode. I analyze the possible situations, and then I'm quite worried that with the disruption we made, they might not be making any deals for a while. I'm afraid for the safety of the children, including Eri. If they won't be needing supply of blood, I'm afraid what they will do to the children. So I was like thinking I might suggest putting that as priority.
You are saying
they might dispose of the children because no one's buying blood.
And that will put us at a time limit, is what you're implying.
Yes.
Yeah, but we can't rattle the cage twice at this point.
True.
I mean, we'll like she said, she'll do her digging. I think we should do our digging. But I admit I can't just rush in and kick down doors. At least for the time being.
Okay, all right.
You see her, she's actually she's like rocking her head like side to side. She's like, it looks like she's confused. She's like, this, why couldn't I see this earlier? Like this kind of level-headedness and thinking things through. It seems like when you three are all planning, it makes all the sense. When you're in the battlefield, you're just a bunch of nincompoop.
My dear, there is a time for thinking and a time for doing.
I agree with Silverback. High five. High five.
Up here again.
When you put on the mask, it changes you.
Oh my gosh. Ay.
There is nothing but doing.
I mean, there was just injustice afoot, and I will
cannot
do so
that.
again tonight if I see injustice.
All right. Well, I guess that's gonna be our course of action.
Okay. I agree. We prepare.
All right. Well, she huddles in the corner and she tries to sleep. You guys take a long rest too? And she says, I'll be able to accompany you back by tomorrow after we rest towards your tavern. Same location where we went down it's always best not to go to the sewers directly underneath where you are lodging.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Agreed.
In the long run.
And right, with that, you guys take a long rest. And we'll cut it here. So it's kasi may work din sila mamaya. So
Okay. No worries.
So, and then I can clarify. So, you guys, we're gonna do downtime next session, investigating
more of
ish,
like-
or like gathering information.
Mhm.
Basically, because I have options. Either you wanna follow if you wanna follow the blood trail, I can make a dungeon of the crypt. If you wanna follow and do like some sleuthing, we can do like investigating, gathering pieces and clues. It's more of probably there's not gonna be any battle maps. It's just
Mhm.
gathering info, connecting the dots.
Is it possible na we do tawag dito? Like Injustice of the Week episode? We
Oh,
found
like
some-
got it. Like some random stuff.
I mean, because we're vigilantes, so I mean, we don't follow the story all the time. But
that's fine,
may
that's
time
okay.
got to do something different.
Yeah. Kasi honestly, medyo yung gathering clues part kailangan ko ng time, if anything. So we can do that,
Exactly.
and also like part downtime as well. So if you wanna like, because next episode Rainier's gonna come back and evaluate you guys. Like, basically, he was drugged, right,
Mm-hmm.
with the wine. So he didn't do shit with what he told you guys. So if you wanna reevaluate, tell him again what you guys want. If you still want the tavern or not. If you're thinking about something else, and then we can proceed to that actually being finished, you guys having time to work on some downtime activities if you want, and then maybe we can do some like Injustice of the Week part after that.
Like a vigilante story.
Yeah,
We can work
Yeah.
on the overall arc while we're my filler. Parang yun.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
filler episode. So downtime plus basically
I don't know,
the guaranteed downtime.
Yeah.
Cool.
Kaya parang kasi may trabaho. Parang interesting na, I don't know. We can lean on this vigilante thing a little bit more in my...
We make a reputation.
Yeah, something like that.
Cool.
Yeah, like the idea is Daredevil or yung, ano isa? The Defenders.
So defend.
May
Ano ba,
overall arc, pero may
Sino ba
things
isa?
here and there. Yan.
Ano, inisip ko yung may barrel, yung Punisher, hindi naman kayo ganun eh.
Oh, yeah. Pwede.
Hindi naman sila haphazardly pumapat.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
I mean, as vigilantes, we know that murder, that will get the,
The city guards.
we watch on
honor.
our heels, so we don't do killing.
Alright.
Like, like tie up villains and throw them sa harap ng city watch. Yung mga ganung
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man shit.
Yung we won't kill you, but your hospital bills will.
Yung mga ganun.
Whoa.
Para makapag rin kami, hero mode rin kaming tatlo.
Sige.
Wow.
I think mas madali din yun. Mas madali ito.
And
Alright.
gusto ko rin mag-experiment with a little bit of fighting. Tingnan ko kung anong
I mentioned.
would be effective.
Practice before the
Trying to see. Yeah, you guys can roll to level 9.
What?
Hindi mo might be sure?
It's just episode, it's the 9th of the season. Yeah. Para entering 10, I think it's reasonable.
Okay.
And
I
then
mean, think
have-
about it. Think about it. Muna.
So we'll do 9, and then by the end of hindi pa naman siguro mag-end, pero like yung mid-season you'll be 10. So that should be...
Nice.
I mean, 9's pretty strong of a level.
Yeah.
Parang yung last
Marami-
campaign.
Marami
Oh,
na
we can do it after 10. At least 9 or 10 is one thing. Like
Okay.
episode 9 episode. So we'll do it after.
Okay.
Mostly.
Not now. Next episode. Probably
Yeah.
next episode. Okay.
Yeah.
Neat.
Alright.
GG.
GG's.
Ano, Gene? Ano? Aliens?
I'm G.
Alright. Watch us
stream nyo lang sa
Aliens, boy.
sa Discord.
Ay, maglaro, Phil?
Hindi, wala ako nun eh.
Okay.
May pera ka naman, di ba?
Wala.
Okay.
GG.
GG.
Okay, Master Lem.
Sige, Lem.
Fallout na ako. Good.